All right, this video is going to be on question 5 and 6. 5 is super easy, so we're going to do this really quickly. So we have two fast-growing cities in Texas. One can be modeled with that 82 equation, and then the other one can be in Tennessee, can be modeled by that 132 equation. Both of them have e's, which is, remember, it's just a number that equals kind of like pi. It's an irrational number. It's in our calculator. The one that we most likely will use is that second ln button, so we can get e to an exponent. But there is also the other one over here about the divide, but most likely we're going to use that second to the ln one. And they have both of these equations graphed, and they want us to find the approximate coordinates of the point of intersection. So we're just going to look at where they cross, which is about right here, which is about 15, 16. And then this one, if I go over, it's about 250 or 275. So this one, it kind of tells you what it is, but it doesn't tell you in the final. So I'm just going to pretend that's not right there. So you would say that the approximate coordinates are 15, 275. A lot of you, when we did this on the quiz, you switched those and said 275, 15. So be careful with that. And then it's asking you, what does this mean in terms of the two mold population? The key word is that both populations have the same population at this time, and you need to convert what that means. So this is 15, so it doesn't mean at 2015, it doesn't mean just 15, it means 15 years after 2016, which is 2031. So in 2031, both populations will have the same amount of people, which will be, and it's not just 275 people because it says in thousands, so it's 275,000 people. Right, and don't forget the units on that one, and it says thousands right here, so we need to make sure we convert it. All right, then question 6 is one that's a little bit more complicated. So here's an expression about a bank account. They give it to you and they're telling you that it's in thousands of dollars, where T represents the time since the account was opened, and they're asking you what the 5 stands for. Whenever we have equations like this, that first number tells you the beginning amount, so the account 5, the account started with 5. Now it's not just 5 because it says in thousands of dollars, so $5,000. All right, and then the 0.042 is because it's an E, that means it's compounding continuously. So the rate the account is compounding continuously is at 4.2%, because we moved the decimal place over 2 spots. So when we move this over 2, it lands in between the 4 and the 2. So now they want us to write the equation and solve. So we have the equation up there, the 5 times, and I'm just using that E to 0.042 T equals, now this is where we have to be careful. It's saying $75,000, but this is in thousands. So I only want to write 75. The other thing that a lot of you did on this quiz when we took this is you forgot to solve it, and it says it in bold and solve. So you have to solve this one. So this is exactly like what we just did with question 4 on the previous page. You're just solving. So we need to get rid of that 5, just like we did on the other page. So I'm going to divide both sides by 5. So 5. 5. All right, so when I do that, the 5's cross out. So these 5's cross out, and I just get left with this E, 75 divided by 5. Just plug that in my calculator, 75 divided by 5. Oops. Helps if I don't have that E still there. 75 divided by 5 is 15. So my next line of my equation is E to the 0.042 T equals 15. All right, so my exponent is where my variable is, so I need to make it a log problem, but my base is E. So we need to remember that it's not log base E. Whenever that happens, it's really the natural log, which is that abbreviation of ln. So it's ln 15 equals our exponent, which is 0.042 T. And then the last step is we need to divide by that 0.042 on both sides. 0.042, so that way they will get crossed off. If you do it to one side, you gotta do it to the other side. So this will cross off, and I will just have T left over. So T will equal, and then my calculator, I'm gonna put this whole side this whole thing into my calculator all at once. You could do it in separate steps. That's fine if you want to. I just didn't feel like doing it in separate steps, so I'm going to do it all at one time. 2, that, and there we go. We get 64.4773. So T equals 64.4773, and the 3 makes the 7 stay the same. And then don't forget the units. We're talking about how long it will take to get that much in years. All right, that's questions 5 and 6.